All right, we're going to wrap up our media availabilities with our Championship 4 drivers. After qualifying here, we're joined by Ross Chastain, driver of the #1 Trackhouse Racing Chevrolet. We will go straight to questions for Ross. If you have a question, please raise your hand, and we will get a wireless microphone to you. Bob and Jeff, and then Nate.
Bob Hawkers, Fox Sports. So you're starting 25th, so how concerned are you?
Oh yeah, that's why I was late. I was trying to finish my qualifying lap, so I'm still finishing turn 4. I mean, yeah, look, I'd much rather be up front, but if anything we've shown all year and continue to show is our Trackhouse cars can pass. So I can't wait to pass these guys. It's gonna make for a great story.
We'll go to Jeff, and then Nate, and then Jordan.
Yeah, obviously, it looks like you're getting quite the reception around here wherever you go this weekend. So how is that not a distraction to what you're trying to accomplish?
It's normal to me. Just you sniped me with a video and caught me out there. So no, it's yeah. There's more people, but I always pop out to the stands and watch the races. So it's nothing new, and I'm not changing me, right? If I can't get there or something, then we'll set up a different way to get in and out. But right now, okay, it takes me an extra couple minutes. Big deal. I got nothing going on except watching a truck race and cheering for my buddy Zane. So,
Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. Ross, are you surprised by that reception, that reaction?
I am, especially as bad as my peers make me feel for doing it. They're all upset about it. So everybody else in the whole dang world seems like it's good, right? And definitely the fans, they love it. So I'm surprised on both sides, though. I'm surprised it was that positive, and I'm also surprised by the negativity. It's kind of one or the other. Like, you're either one way or the other.
Have you heard from your peers directly, or you just hear what they say to us?
Not very much directly. It's funny how that works. See them during the week, and everything's fine. See them around the track, everything's fine. Spend a whole day with them, the media day, and then get somewhere else, and they got a lot of thoughts.
One more on the fan reaction, the positivity. Given this is such an important week for you and such an important weekend, I mean, can you even sort of like appreciate it, or you have to reflect on like this reception that you're getting, this warm welcome?
I feel like I can, because I just live in the moment of like one box open at a time, and right now it's this weekend, and when I'm not actively with my crew or in the car, I think about stuff, but I'm totally immersed in whatever I'm doing. So, I'm going to talk out both sides of my mouth. Yes, I will be able to appreciate this more in 10 years, but right now it's everything that I thought it would be. It's scary as heck. It's awesome, and I'm living through it. And I'm getting my group is letting me experience it in my own way, and they're giving me space to let me do it, and coaching me along the way for sure. I've got everybody here, but yes and no, like yes and yes, now and later.
We're going to go to Jordan, Zach, and Claire.
Jordan Bianchi, The Athletic. First, let me follow up on Nate's question. Why is it scary?
I'm driving a Cup car in the Cup Series. It's always scary. It has been since the first race with Jay Robinson, and hasn't changed since. It's been scary every race day, so I don't expect that to change.
Roughly 24 hours before the green flag, you feeling nervous? You excited? What are you feeling?
I mean, look, there is some dejection about qualifying, right? We put a lot into it, and I couldn't put a lap together. It was too loose. So, but it's gonna be so cool. When we start passing people, and just one after the other, and the next, and I get to feel all this about driving a race car. I get to feel happy. I get to feel sad. I get to feel scared. I get to feel nervous. Like, it's so cool. It doesn't feel cool in the moment, but it is so cool.
What are you doing tonight?
Seeing everybody that came out here. So we're gonna go. Trackhouse gonna have a little get together, and everybody involved with the Trackhouse brand, see them, hang out with them for a while, and then that way tomorrow is a little bit more all business.
We're going to go Zach, Claire, and then Jonathan.
Yeah, Zach Albert, NASCAR.com. Ross, you mentioned having everybody out here, and I know among those is your brother, who has been helping out on the trackhouse side and also been doing a lot of the day-to-day at the farm as well. Just you talked about him being kind of your GameCube adversary, but at the same time, what's it been like just to have him on this whole journey and be alongside with you?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, he's my best friend, and it's me and him against the world, and no matter what, we'll always have each other's backs. So as I go through things in life, as he goes through things in life, we include each other, and we're incredibly fortunate that our family dynamic, as you know, sometimes it doesn't seem perfect, that it's us as our family against the world, and that was taught to us from my granddad, and it was my dad says it was from his granddad, and it keeps going back. So it's just what we were. It's just the most natural thing is to have family around us. And for me and Chad, we're similar enough in age that we're 6 years apart, but I'm probably a little young acting for my age. He's a little wise for his age, and it puts us in a spot where business and in life we can do a lot of stuff together. So I want him involved and helping me, and I feel like having him close to me makes me better.
Claire?
Claire Relang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. I'm glad Jordan asked why it was scary because I thought the same thing. And then I started thinking, listening to you, whether it has been more difficult now that people have expectations and attention on you. When you started, you didn't have that. Anywhere you were going was up, right? Now, there are a lot of expectations. You got more fans. You got people who think they want you to win a championship. Is it harder because all of that is on you now than before you had it?
Not this week. Because it's been a week of firsts, right? First time we're coming out here in the Final Four. First time that there's this many fans, looking at us and even acknowledging the one car in our group. So, I don't think it's sunk in on the competition side yet. Other than just, the fact that we're in the Final Four is wild and it's awesome.
So your debrief that you just had, that we were waiting here for you, I know you can't give details of it, but what was that like? I mean, nobody's losing their, I know your crew chief, he's pretty calm too, right? So what was that like?
Just looking through information, learning everything we can. Like, we're going to be back here in the spring to race again, so we want to qualify better. We want to see what we can execute practice better with, and it was just the same thing we always do. We just went through step by step what all happened and what we can do better. So
We're going to go to Jonathan, then we'll go to Dustin.
Jonathan Field, the racing experts. Ross, with having so many people around this weekend, I'm sure you've been swapping stories, telling about different moments. Are there any that maybe hit a little different now that you've made to the championship four in this point?
It's really just, well, not any one. It's seeing faces of people in Xfinity and the Truck Series garage, seeing crew members, crew chiefs, team owners, pit crew guys that I've worked with over the years, and just seeing their smile when they see me, and just how they're excited for me, right? And I'd say at track, that's been the coolest part. All the texts from people back home that can't make it out have been really, really cool too. But those in-person moments have been really, just made me smile and make me feel good, right? When you can, that's what I keep going back to, how cool it is that I can feel this way about racing. How cool is it that someone else feels so strongly and so happy for somebody else that they might have worked with 7 years ago or 10 years ago or 7 months ago. It's cool to see just human interaction and to have that connection with somebody. They can just walk up and smile and we can hug, and we don't have to say anything. It's just we know how happy we are, and they're happy for me.
Go to Dustin.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. Ross was talking with Johnny Davis earlier this week, and he was telling me the story about how you got your first start at Dover with some of the extra sponsorship money. He helped put you in Jay Robinson's car, and the way he was telling the story was that he said when he was telling you about it, you're like, I don't know if I'm ready to be in a Cup car. And he's like, boy, you're ready to be in a Cup car. Get in there. And you finished 20th. What do you recall? Were you really that Is that accurate? You were kind of concerned about being in a Cup car. What do you recall about that experience?
Yeah, absolutely. It was the sponsorship was on our car, and they got approached by TriStar and Mark Smith's group with Cole Witt to do the 72 car as well. They just added on to my program, and the state came to us and asked, what we thought, because we've been partners with them for a little while, and Tony and Johnny said, like, well, we can put Ross in an equal car to that. Let's just put that money and we'll put it straight into his car. And so they did, and I told them no, and they didn't even blink. They were just like, no, we're doing. We're not asking you if you want to do it. We're telling you you're going to do it. I just never thought I was ready for Cup, and I'm glad that they were stern with it, because if they would have given me my choice, I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have went to Dover for my first Cup race. There's no way.
I mean, any driver, especially somebody I would suspect that came up through the way you did, to have that opportunity would jump at it regardless. So, I mean, looking back, are you even kind of confused why you'd say no, or does it make sense? I mean, it seems like it'd be the natural reaction to, like, here's a Cup ride, here's your opportunity to make your Cup debut. Maybe it's not the best track for you, but most guys would jump into it, and for you to say no immediately.
It's scary. It is. It's Cup racing. It's hard. You see it. You see the guys that do it, and just put them on the highest pedestal that I have in my, my wheelbarrow to put them on, and it's I just didn't and don't view myself as ready for that. So, that's me. That's why I don't know. I don't really know how to answer your question, other than that was my thoughts, and I still don't believe that I was ready until I actually got in the race. Practice and qualifying, I wasn't ready, and I got in the race, and it all clicked, and then we're fine.
Go up front to Tom.
Tom Bowles, Front Stretch and CBS. Ross, so much of this presser today has been about, the fear and the scary part of being in this championship four. And I'm just wondering, like, the fear that you've had, you said Racing Cup is scary. How do you balance that against the moments that you need to have the aggression to make that move that nobody else will make at Martinsville? That history-making move. How do you balance that?
Yeah, I've been sitting here as I've said all this, and I thought about what all y'all are going to write about and how it's going to be how Ross is scared. And, I'm like, oh, man, that's probably the opposite of what these other guys are saying. But I just want to speak the truth, and I do have those feelings, and then they ebb and flow, and they go up and down. So I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And once I get in the car, all that's gone. Like, all that fear is gone. Once I got in that first Cup race, the only thing that was different that race and this race was, in that race I was looking around on track at speed going, that's Dale Earnhardt Jr., that's Jimmy Johnson, like, lapping me. But still, I was amazed that I was racing against those guys. So yeah, once I get out there, and the way when I'm preparing, when we're prepping for these races and these weekends, there's no fear. It's complete. There's a way we're gonna prepare. We're gonna learn what we can, and we're gonna put that into action when we get to the track. So I can only control what I can control, and I'll do whatever it takes to be prepared and put that into action in the car. So the old saying about how it, like, we change when we put our helmets on, I know that I do, and I can block all of this out. It's not even that I can, it's just that it happens. Everything's gone, and there's no thoughts. And then a conversation I had right before the race that's not racing related, if someone asks me, like with my group on the business side, if we talk about something 30 minutes before the race, and they come back to me 30 minutes after, and they pick up the conversation like nothing's changed, and I'm like, whoa, like, start over, like, what did we talk about? Because I've blocked it all out, and it's gone, and it was all about the competition. So as long as I never lose that, I think that's what makes me stronger in the car. It doesn't always help me out of the car. It doesn't help me up here talking about how scared I am, but once I get in the car, it's all game.
Go to Zach.
Zach Sterniolo, NASCAR.com. Ross, have you allowed yourself through all of that to enjoy this process and enjoy the weekend? I know Thursday you were talking about how cool it was just to be on stage talking to the media and all of that. So have you allowed yourself over these past few days to enjoy the moment?
I have. Not right after qualifying, and it's not even been long enough right now to enjoy it. But I didn't enjoy anything about from the time I was coming to the green to now. There's not enjoyment in the last hour, but I have. Just in the hauler this morning and seeing some of the guys, and you could tell there was some. One of the guys was just noticeably nervous, and we started cutting up, and everything loosened up, and everything was fine. So I think he probably just had too much coffee. That's probably the problem. Just little jitters.
All right, Ross, thanks for joining us this afternoon. Good luck tomorrow.
All right, thanks.